From the west side of Edmonton, this is Edmonton Sports Talk, the noon hour here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The 17th today, we have the Oil Stream. I'm Zachary Kubusch, joined alongside Reid Wilkins, Matt Owanek, putting in a shift behind the producer chair. He's also got the Commonwealth Stadium Green and Gold kickoff show with Jay Milne live from the Commonwealth Community Recreation Center. That goes at 6 o'clock. Elks in action. They're looking to go 5-1 to avenge a Week 5 loss in Kelowna against the BC Lions from Commonwealth Stadium for the Dog Days of Summer. It is a hot one. It's a scorcher today, even under the lights here in the EST offices. I'm getting a bit warm, but we got a fun show on tap. We'll talk about the Oilers' 84-game regular season. I also have a segment that I like to call Reid Wilkins and Won'ts. I'll ask Reid Wilkins a few questions about Oilers, maybe some Elks, maybe some movie discussion. You made an appearance earlier on the Hangout as well, and you're joining me here today. Right now, I had an hour off following the Hangout, what I call a hydration break. Of course, the final in the World Cup goes Sunday as well. But how are things for you on this fine Friday?
Yes, very good, Koob. I'm looking forward to the Elks game tonight. Jay and I will be at the Commonwealth Rec Center for our show from 3 to 6. I think the Elks got a pretty solid team, trying to finally beat Nathan Rourke for the first time ever. 0-7 against Rourke. I don't mind the hot weather, and especially now in my home, I have air conditioning. My goodness. It's glorious. I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't feel sweaty. I'm not having trouble sleeping. Best purchase I've ever made. Well, one of them.
Well, sleep is the most important thing, right? You got to get a good sleep to get a good
I don't think sleep is the most important thing.
Well, maybe water and food.
Food's pretty important. Yes,
yeah, I don't think you can go very long without food or water, but sleep is definitely up there. I'm very lucky. My family might not be so lucky, but they live on the main and upper floors in our humble abode, and we do not have great air conditioning. We have one of the smaller ACs that you can put up like in the window, but
so
the way it's
rigged
up,
house.
it's not. No, it's still very warm. And I'm a cold-blooded guy. I love having the fan on. Even during the wintertime, Reid, I put the fan on. And I live in the basement. Like, I love the cold.
Oh, really? Okay.
I absolutely love it. I know Maddie loves the heat here. I don't think the heat is turned up very high in the EST offices right now. I think he sets it at a comfortable 21.5.
See, that's too hot.
Most people like
that's
it. That's
too
really?
hot.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure I 21, 20 is fine for me. Yeah. That's you got to cool it off. But Iwanek likes being hot. He said in his residence, he has it at 25 or something like that.
Well, what surprised me now, a bit of a memory from my youth. I was able to have the opportunity to play on the Rogers Place ice following an Oil Kings game. So I think it was in the inaugural season at Rogers Place. So what that would have been the 16-17 season, the first time back in the playoffs for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yes.
And it was a hoot, but the temperature at ice level was almost unbearable. Like, I was sweating on the bench. So to see how some of the athletes kind of go through and push through that, it could be pretty uncomfortable.
So you were hot?
I was hot on the bench. Like, the lighting itself, you could feel the heat emitting from the light.
I have found Rogers Place to be quite a cold building.
Way up high, though.
Yes. And then when I was working with Ched, I would be there 3 to 3.5 hours before the start of the game because I was on air 90 minutes before the game. Right. So I would go in there and finish my prep and get ready. And there were times I would I would leave my jacket on, my winter jacket, and sometimes I would wear a toque, and I even had those gloves with the fingerless gloves, so I could keep my hands warm. It was very cold in that rink, but then as people came in, it warmed up. But I found it very cold up there. When you're one of the few people in the building, it was freezing. Yeah,
definitely a bit hollow. Even I noticed that you get near groups of people in certain sections, and you go watch something, either a game or whatnot, it could be a little bit chilly. I was at Twilliger Rec Center, or the Booster Juice Recreation Center, whatever they call it now, for a little bit of drop-in hockey. I had myself a late night.
Yesterday?
11 to midnight, I was playing hockey.
Nice. Good
and
for
it
you.
was absolutely boiling in the dressing room that I was in. So
I bet.
Like heat just makes you uncomfortable and sticky and everything like that. But the heat is good outside. Whether you're tuning in from the lake, I don't know which lake. If you're in the Edmonton area, there is only one
lake.
that people
If you're going
to
the lake,
you're going to.
You're only going
lake.
to one.
I would if I had the opportunity to name a lake, I would just name it the lake. What lake are you going to? Oh, I'm going to
the lake. Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be great. I think about some weird things every so often. Pretty interesting guy myself. But yes, whether you're tuning into us from Edmonton's capital region, I guess, surrounding area, St. Albert, whatnot, Spruce Grove, or you're elsewhere, we appreciate your listenership, viewership, either live or after the fact. There's multiple ways to get in touch. You can get in touch in our inbox, 780-218-9999. Also in the YouTube chat, which is what we call the nasty chat. The nasties being our listeners, viewers, and supporters. They're not very nasty most times, but it's always a good time in the nasty chat. People saying, hi, what's up? Saying, Koob, go Elks. Tons of people get in touch. And if you're on the YouTube chat, please hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. We are coming to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, the new value menu at Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, featuring 5-piece nuggets, fried pickles, mini chicken wrap, mini chicken sandwich, and blackened cauliflower, all for $4 plus tax. These are perfect snackable items that can round out your favorite Popeyes meal. And Reid, I know you're a big fan of Popeyes. Is there a go-to when you walk through the door at Popeyes? Because every menu,
whatever you're in the mood with. I like the blackened cauliflower, but I think they got rid of them. They might have got rid of the little cauliflower bites. I think the last time I was there, I just kind of grabbed the nuggets or the tenders. They were good. I like the blackened ranch dipping sauce. That kind of adds very well to anything. If I feel like their chicken sandwich, that's a very good chicken sandwich. I really enjoy that. That's what got me into Popeyes initially. It's a good place to go.
It definitely is. I'm a big biscuit fan, so I always got to get the biscuits on the side and just enjoy that. Their mac and cheese is pretty good, but Popeyes will never, ever do you an injustice. And for the first time in, over 30 years now, the NHL is shifting to an 84-game regular season. The Oilers will open their season at home to the Canucks September 29th, which is a Tuesday. There's 5 games going on in the NHL. That day they'll play on the road right after. It's a home and home. They'll visit Vancouver, but the schedule released yesterday. I did a lot of dissection. I don't think I've ever dived into the schedule as much as I had yesterday. And even today, I was scouring some of the key dates for the Oilers. Now, out of one specific date in the schedule, I know you guys went over it during the Reid Wilkins show yesterday, 3 to 6 on Edmonton Sports Talk, but is there a date or a matchup that you have particularly circled on your calendar?
All right, here's what happens when I get the Oilers schedule for the year, Koob, and I've been doing this for a while. Who do they play first? We already knew that. Then I look, when is Calgary here? When is Montreal here? When is Toronto here? Okay? And then I look, when is Pittsburgh here? When is Washington here? Those are the games. And those are the games I talked about on the show yesterday. Hey, here's some dates. Okay? Now, I also pointed out yesterday, when is the Stanley Cup champion here? Carolina. When's the first game against Anaheim, the team that eliminated them from the playoffs?
Hey, I thought that too.
Those are the highlights. And then I look for long road trips, long homestands, back-to-backs, things that might look difficult, where their breaks are, what it's like around Christmas, what it's like around the All-Star break. The Oilers got a very generous break at Christmas.
Yeah,
because there are games up until December 22nd. The Oilers finish on December 20th. Mm-hmm. The NHL season resumes on Boxing Day. The Oilers don't play Boxing Day. They're back at it in Columbus on the 27th. So they get a 6-day break. Some teams are only going to get 3. There's always a 3-day break at Christmas, usually the 24th, 25th, and 26th. If Boxing Day is on a Saturday, the NHL schedules games on that day, and the 23rd becomes the day off instead. So they have a break there. At the All-Star break, they play February 3rd, which is the last day before the break. There are games Monday, February 8th already. The Oilers don't get back at it till Friday, February 12th. So they have 8 days without a game there. Obviously, they can get back and practice sooner than that. But in terms of playing games, that's a bit of a gap there. 8 consecutive home games, 3 before the All-Star break, 5 after. So they're going to go from January 26th to February 25th without playing a road game. Now, probably a couple players will be going to the All-Star game, and players will be likely, many players leaving town for a couple days during that break in February, but that's a long time without a road game. So that's usually how I look at it, right? When are some of the rivals here? When's the defending champion here? And then what are some long stretches to the season? Now this year, and I talked to somebody with OEG last night, and they were aware, I don't think they've been fixed yet, that the times on the Oilers website are incorrect for many games throughout the course of the season. Okay?
Right. There was a lot of confusion with us staying where we are in daylight. Mountain Standard.
Off the NHL media site, I printed the schedule, and it has the times local to the home team. Okay? So, for example, if you go to the Oilers website, it says that the home game against the Rangers on Monday, November 9th starts at 6 p.m. That's wrong. It starts at 7 p.m. So I think there was a mistake in the coding or whatever they do. I think the Oilers know this. I assume they'll change it at some point. But all game times are subject to change. And usually as we move through the summer, there's eventually going to be an email from the NHL saying the start times to the following games have been adjusted. It's usually by half an hour. But that email will probably come out by the end of the month or sometime in August. And I think now we're waiting to see what happens with other jurisdictions and perhaps the entire United States doing what Alberta is doing, what BC is doing, what Saskatchewan has been doing for a long time, and that is not changing the clocks. So Alberta and BC are not going to fall back at the start of November. Okay? So that's why we'll be 2 hours ahead of California. That's why in January, when the Oilers go through LA, San Jose, and LA and San Jose specifically, and the games start at 7 o'clock in those cities, they're going to start at 9 o'clock here. Okay? Now, there is, and I couldn't see the timing for when the Senate deals with this, but the House of Representatives have passed legislation that for permanent daylight saving time in the United States. Now, I'm not sure if then regions or states could still do their own things. So now this goes before the Senate, and the stuff that I've read a couple articles this morning, I don't know what the timeline would be for that. There are going to be objections to this because, and it's going to happen here, it's going to be darker later in the morning. And specifically, this means kids will be going to school in the dark. And maybe even a lot of us will be driving to school in the dark or driving to work in the dark. You know, if you have a kind of traditional start time to your day, as opposed to maybe getting the sunrise or getting a little bit of daylight when you're going to work. So we'll see how this happens. I also found a really interesting article. This was published this is on the Winnipeg Free Press's website from a couple days ago. The United States went to permanent daylight saving time. They passed the law putting in permanent daylight saving time in 1973. In what was supposed to be a trial period from January of 74 to April of 75, so about 16 months. It lasted until October, and it was repealed after public outcry. Among the concerns was the word that school children would have to start the school day without daylight.
That bothered me. Growing up and going to school, I'd leave, at like 7:30 or something to get there for an 8:30, 8:45 start. I already seeing a lower amount of sunlight before this time change is stuck. So I mean, back in the 70s there, I would fully agree with that, right? Like the
other argument is if you're not going to change the clocks, why not pick standard time instead of daylight time? You know, you'd still have pretty long days in the summer, but the sun here would be going down 10-ish instead of 11-ish. Do you need it light out that late? Right? Is it not better to have more in the morning? But it appears like daylight time is what everybody is picking. But it is going to be weird because potentially Seattle and Vancouver could be on different times. I mean, they're not that far apart.
No.
Right? But Vancouver would be an hour ahead of Seattle, and then Edmonton would be 2 hours ahead of Seattle. So once the clocks change, it's like 2 a.m. November 1st. So basically when you go to bed on Halloween. Once the clocks change, our time zone would be, the traditional Hockey Night in Canada doubleheader would be at 6 and 9, not 5 and 8, regardless of which game the Oilers are playing in. Now, again, the game times are all subject to change, which is usually the way it is at this time of year anyway when they first put the schedule out. And then maybe other jurisdictions are going to follow. I think Ontario has said that they're not going to change unless Quebec and New York change. New York's probably not going to change unless the whole United States changes. Quebec, from what I've read, hasn't said anything. But I would think if the entire United States changes, or most of the United States changes, then the rest of Canada is going to change to permanent daylight time and not moving the clocks in March and November.
I don't know if I'm the only one here that this is hard to wrap my head around here on the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. I'm Zachary Kubusch. Reid Wilkins talking about the time change in Alberta and how that affects the Oilers and the rest of the NHL schedule there as well. For me, time has always been an anomaly. What is that the cliche? Time is an anomaly, or time? I don't know. Is time even real? No, I'm just kidding. But time for me, trying to understand and grasp like what's going on, like how Newfoundland and Labrador there are like 3.5 hours ahead currently. And I didn't realize until the end of last year or early this year that Saskatchewan is constantly on the same time, right?
Saskatchewan does not move the clocks. Yes.
So I don't know. There's a lot up for, I guess, a wait and see game for this time change to happen, which is why I think the Oilers schedule also reflects that, because they're also kind of waiting in limbo as people are to CK. When are these games actually going to be scheduled?
Well, I think
what are we going to have to amend, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I've talked to someone with OEG yesterday after my show briefly. Just looking into this briefly, and I said, I'm assuming you guys aren't fans of 9 p.m. games. And this person said, we want our games to start at times which are best for our fans. Which
is probably not 9
o'clock. Which is
a
way of saying we don't like the 9 p.m. games with flat out telling someone in the media that that's a quote that is,
a headline quote. Yeah,
I mean, not even 9 p.m. Saturday. There are 2 potential 9 p.m. home games. Okay, it's Saturday, but still, that's pretty late. I realize most people maybe don't have to work the next day or you plan a 9 out, but the game not starting till 9 o'clock, I don't know, like who likes that?
I don't think anyone's in favor of that, and I wonder how the players might adapt to that, because they are used of a schedule. I don't know how much an hour would actually really set off, and a 9 p.m. puck drop is going to be 9:07, 9:15.
Yep,
as well. So it'll be even set back a little bit more in Edmonton. Trying to bring your kids to a game too. Kids don't really stay up that late. Maybe they might get tonight, Billy, we're going to take you to the Oilers game. You get to stay up a little bit later. That also comes into account too. People got to still go to work at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. So for the entire NHL schedule to shift by that hour, I think it could have changes. I don't know if I'm picking at straws to say it would be that monumental, but it's an interesting development to keep track of. And I don't know. I'm all over it. I love schedules. I know you do as well.
Yep.
Like you guys did a full tournament of Edmonton communities.
Yeah, but we didn't schedule games.
There was no scheduled
actually
games.
have times.
But I know if you had times to do that, you would be all over that Reid Wilkins. So
see, this is once it changes. I mean, Oilers games in the East on a weekday. Okay, you used to playing Boston or Pittsburgh. It would start at 5 or 5:30. Now it would start at 6 or 6:30 Edmonton time. Maybe that'd be a little better for people. Hey, you got a little, some more time getting home from work, or whatever. But certainly, some of the weekend times would change, and then some of the West Coast games would change. I mean, a lot of things would be a little different. So in Nashville, those are often 6 o'clock Edmonton time games. Those would be at 7. Mm-hmm. Okay, not a huge deal. Because we'd be the same time as Nashville, right?
True.
The home games would still either start at 7 or 8, basically during the week for the most part. But I do think it's something to keep an eye on. And then I do think it's worth asking if they keep it. I mean, like I was just reading, they tried to do it in the U.S.
They did the trial in the 70s, and it didn't work out then, right?
And it didn't go through very well. But it's going to affect sports viewing for sure, even if it's just by an hour or two, if this does go ahead and all the other regions stay the same for now.
Very interesting development here on the Oil Stream. Boston, presented by Boston Pizza. It's July 17th, Friday, here on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Oil Stream isn't the only program we got going. We're only at the exact halfway point almost through our day. We start at 6 o'clock Monday through Friday and wrap things up at 6, but some extended coverage today with the Elks in action against the Lions. Elks 4-1 on this season. Lions 1-3. The only win that they have is against the Double E. Matt Owanek and Jay Milne will be live from the Commonwealth Community Recreation Center. 6 to 7 o'clock, which is kickoff. We also do have our EST tailgate set up just beside the stage, right set up on the tailgate. That's the northwest side of Commonwealth Stadium. So some fun being had there. If you're going down to the game, please stop by. We give away some chips and water, and we also got cornhole set up. We'll have a fun time down there. The Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. Of course, buy one medium or large pizza and get the second one 50% off. And they have a new summer menu, Reid Wilkins. I went to Boston Pizza the other day. It was my niece's 5th birthday, and we ended up going to Boston Pizza to celebrate. They got firecracker calamari, queso and chips, the club salad, holy queso burger, crispy haddock sandwich, the Flamin' Hot Fiesta pizza. And this one's an interesting one, Reid. They take Flamin' Hot Cheetos and crumble it on top of the pizza. So check out Boston Pizza's new menu, bostonpizza.com. It's quite the mouth-watering selection that they have over there. Get in touch on the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Some people getting in touch about the timing. I mean, do you think, I don't know, like, there's one commenter, Zulu, saying that the poor times in planning for the NHL schedule. Do you think the NHL, compared to some of the other major leagues, I know we follow, I guess, the CFL and NHL mainly, but for the NHL, I don't think there's been many, at least in my very couple short years of covering the NHL, that they've really had any like massive mishaps or poor planning, right? Like they seem to do it right. Like, well, looking at the Oilers schedule,
the reason there's going to be 9 p.m. games is in Edmonton is for television. Those are Saturday night games. So those are the late games on Hockey Night in Canada. That's part of the TV deal. I didn't look at the full schedule to see if there were other games that could have been in that time slot instead, but I guess they would start pretty late as well. So I don't think that's necessarily poor planning. I think it's just the NHL's like, well, we need Saturday games. We need somebody in that time slot for Hockey Night in Canada. If there's a game in Edmonton, it's going to have to start that late.
I guess that's the way it's rolling here in Edmonton. Now, another team that has been on the forefront, some decent scheduling, I guess, upcoming. It's week 7 in the CFL. The Elks looking to go 5-1 to go atop the CFL. Three other teams are 4-1. The Riders on the bye, but tonight, Friday Night Football with Dustin Nielsen, Edmonton Sports Talk's CEO, on the call for that one right in Alberta's capital. So a tough loss in week 5 for the Edmonton Elks, Reid Wilkins. Do you think that they can adjust and get it done tonight? For me, okay, coming out of week 5, BC's coming off the bye week that they had in week 6 to face the Elks tonight. There's a few players missing for the Elks, and in week 6, they were able to get by the Red Blacks, 40-17, and showed a lot of different things that I didn't really see from them in Kelowna, in touchdown Kelowna against the Lions. Do you think that they can continue their might and keep pushing forward to try and get a win and pry one out from Rourke, or what's your initial take on the game?
Well, look, I think the Elks have a good team. I think it's legitimate. I think there will be tough games this year. I think there are going to be losses. I think there are other good teams, but I don't buy into that. It's a fluke, or that it's it's a flash in the pan. I think they have a legitimately good team. And I think the defense powers that, and I think getting turnovers powers that. If they win the turnover battle tonight, this is the biggest cliche in football, but it's proven true time and time again. If they win the turnover battle tonight, they will win the game. They lost the turnover battle in Kelowna. Rankin fumbled in the red zone. Fajardo threw a pick in the end zone. I think there was another turnover or two along the way, and they lost the game. I think if they take care of the ball tonight, and can come up with a couple picks or a couple fumble recoveries, and like, this secondary is good. They are all over some of these pass patterns. I know Rourke is very good. I know they have some good receivers on BC, but I think Edmonton's defense is tough to beat. So if Edmonton takes care of the ball and Rankin gives you a couple explosive plays, I like the Elks' chances. I think when they lost to the Lions and Mark Killam, we have the Mark Killam show every Tuesday at 5 here on EST. He said they had some misfits in that game, as he called them, and some MAs, which is missed assignments, where they were sort of beaten by the time the ball was already snapped. I expect those to be corrected. So I don't think BC is going to be able to have some gouging runs up the middle like they did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Butler was tearing it up on the ground when the Elks visited the Lions out in Kelowna. Now, Play Alberta is the presenting sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk. Of course, lots of coverage. PlayAlberta.ca/EST for EST specials. Tons on tonight's Elks game around the CFL. Jays play of the day yesterday. Keon Julian Grant, anytime touchdown plus 175. And Justin Rankin, anytime touchdown. Now, this bet is boosted minus 200. So he's not plus money exactly for a touchdown tonight. We also got one with the touchdowns for Justin Rankin. That's plus 245. Before this bet was boosted for the single touchdown from Rankin, it was minus 290. Like, that's comparable to what I guess during a regular season for the Oilers would be. Well, McDavid over
just getting a point,
1.5 points,
or over 1.5.
Yeah. Well, he's guaranteed almost like any of the betting lines that I've seen.
I got to check the way I do the odds. So a Rankin anytime touchdown, I got 1.5 to 1. Rankin 2+ touchdowns is almost 3.5 to 1. That's not bad,
right? So with this, I sprinkled a couple bucks on this earlier. It's just always fun for me. Of course, if you gamble, use your game sense as always, because we got some bigger bets as well. The Lock Shop CFL teaser, that's plus 1163. And the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay is still up. Elks on the spread minus 3.5. McInnes anytime touchdown, and the Elks Lions to go over 60 plus total points plus 750. We do have our segment for Play Alberta numbers game coming up toward the end of today's oil stream as well. Well, I'll ask you the Reid Wilkins and won'ts.
All right.
I really like that title.
Sure.
What do you think about that?
Whatever you want.
Do you like the...
Yeah, I pretty much like everything you do, Koob.
You like everything I do? Well,
yeah.
I appreciate that. I like everything that you do, Reid Wilkins.
So the Reid Wilkins or Won'tkins, is that what it is?
Yeah, the Reid Wilkins and won'ts. I don't know if which one rolls off the tongue
whichever
better.
you want to do. Yeah,
I don't know. I probably took way too long to come up with the title for that one-off segment. Well, I had when I was hosting EST Afternoons, I had Locked Engage with Joaquin Gage.
Oh, that's a good one.
I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But more Elks discussion, Lions discussion to come up on our programming here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We'll carry through with the Green and Gold kickoff and post-game show live from the Commonwealth Community Recreation Center. Reid Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up as well, 3 to 6 p.m. They'll be live from Commonwealth Rec Center as well. EST Afternoons, it's Matt Awanek and Joaquin Gage, myself as well, from 1 to 3. EST Afternoons, Hernan Salas had the duties on the morning show. Same show on Monday with Matt and Joaquin for EST Afternoons. We do have Julio Caravata, Lions color analyst, joining at 2:20, and Zach to the Future as well. We'll dive deeper into the Elks discussion too. And Reid Wilkins, you do have your show coming up. Did you want to tee that up to see what special guests we got coming?
I'd be happy to, Koob.
Please.
Dustin Nielsen's going to drop by. Jed Roberts will be on the show. Anthony Bent will be on the show, well known in the local soccer community, fan of England and Canada.
And he runs, does he not?
He went to, I think he went to the game between England and Panama in New York, New Jersey, which again is not a real place. And I mean, he'll talk about England losing and following Canada. I don't think he's thrilled. I don't think he's too excited for the third place game tomorrow.
Which we could kind of see from an outside perspective. Matt Awanek is quite vocal, saying that none of the English or French supporters really care about that game as well. So, I mean, he came on the Reid Wilkins show once before. Is he not? Does he not work in collaboration with Canadian Brewhouse too to have some watch parties?
Well, they did some. They did some stuff at the Ice House, I believe. Yeah, I get that why there's not really a bronze medal. I think though, Jay disagrees with me. I think if Canada were in the third place game, I would watch it. England and France. I mean, if I'm home and I flip the TV on, but I'm not gonna like the World Cup final. That is my plan Sunday to watch it at 1 p.m. Like if somebody was like, "Hey Reid, let's hang out at 2:00 Sunday," I would say no. I want to watch the World Cup final. It's the World Cup final. I've been enjoying the tournament. It's only every 4 years I want to watch. I don't even know when it is. Is it 3:00 tomorrow? It might be 3:00.
Yeah, 3:00 tomorrow from Miami.
Like if somebody
Stadium.
was like, if somebody was like, "Hey, there's like, do you want to do this at 3:30?" I'd be like, "Yeah, like no problem." I wouldn't even think about the soccer game. If Canada were in it, if we had somehow made it this far, I would want to watch the third place game. I would like for England and France. If you're not first, it's a disappointment.
Yeah, if you ain't first, you're last. Like Ricky Bobby said in Talladega Nights. Mm-hmm.
But I think for Canada, to be saying you're third instead of fourth, like you won your last game, you only lost to one of the teams in the final. You beat the other semifinal loser. I think that would be pretty significant. Now, Canada finishing fourth would be pretty
also
significant.
Huge.
But to me, it's like, okay, if Canada somehow went on this major run and made the semifinals and then lost the semifinal and the third place game, it'd be like, well, okay, clearly we're not that good. But like if you got to the semifinal, got third, I don't know, I'd sooner say I was third rather than fourth if I had a choice.
Yeah, you're on the podium,
especially
right?
If you weren't expected, like finish as high as you can. I get it for England and France. This is a bummer.
It's a disappointment.
This is a bummer. Is there even going to be bragging rights out of it between the two countries? I don't know, maybe a little bit. Probably, I guess you'd sooner win, but they're probably not going to start their best lineups. They're probably going to play some other guys. If Canada were in it, I would want Canada to win. Mm-hmm. But yeah, these two other nations who have been eliminated now, I really only care about the final. Well, I mean, if I'm home, I might have it on in the background, or maybe if it was near the end or going to overtime or kicks, I'd sit down and watch, but I'm certainly not planning to watch it.
No, neither am I. Well, I'm not even going to be able to watch it. Like I'd throw it on in the background. I got some other things already going on, which is great. But even here in Edmonton, it's not going to be. We're going to keep tabs on it. We're going to know who wins and what happens in that game. But the story is going to be whoever wins the actual title. If Messi can get his second of his career and add another win to a long-standing list for Argentina, or if Lamine Yamal can defeat his childhood hero.
Right.
Which is quite the big storyline.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm pumped for it, actually.
There has been a third place game since the second World Cup in 1934.
Yeah,
we should remind people this is not a new thing. No. They didn't have one, so there were no World Cups in 42 and 46 because of World War II.
Yeah.
They didn't have a third place game in 50, and then it's been in every World Cup since 1954. It counts if you're going for the Golden Boot, which is the leading scorer.
That's the one thing I'd say that
there's
Mbappe
some prize
would play
money.
for.
There's more prize money.
Yeah, it's $2 million, I think, to each club.
But I get it. It's kind of like, in the NHL would, the conference final losers. Oh, let's just play one more game so there's somebody third, at a high level. And it's like there's not an Olympic medal or something like that.
Yeah, you don't get the Olympic teddy bear like
but
Canada.
Look, it's money, broadcast motivated. They'd sooner have a game and sell tickets for it than have nothing.
Yeah, people are gonna go. I'm sure the tickets are gonna be a bit cheaper. It'd be a great experience to be down there.
And I will say this. I mean, it could turn out to be, well, I guess we'll see. I'd have to look back on all the other third place games. I'm not an expert on those. I wonder if it'll be an entertaining game. Like if there's just going to be more of a go for it mentality. If some players get into the tournament who haven't been in it, or they want to prove themselves, and maybe if they're less experienced, they're more mistake prone. So, I mean, there could be some entertainment value to it.
For sure. And Mbappe and Messi are tied each 8 goals, 7 matches into this year's World Cup. So they're tied currently for the race for the Golden Boot.
Oh, right. But Mbappe is like, well, we didn't win the World Cup.
Yeah, so. I'm not sure how much he'll be pressing for that. So, yeah, you'd rather it's some participation prize for sure. It's I even bought a Canada soccer hat. Like I'm behind soccer. I was telling Maddie on the hangout yesterday and during the week that like I want to choose a team outside of the country clubs because I guess being in Canada is the top team I'd want to cheer for. And then part of my heritage, Sweden and Germany. Right. Germany is a historically good team. And, Lieutenant Eric here is a supporter of the German national team. They didn't go as far as they wanted, but for Canada, just to, put on the gas, like everybody and their dog is watching.
Right.
Was watching Canada, it felt like, which is a great thing to see us emerge in another sport for sure, because hockey is the mainstay here. It's always going to be, but
so the third place games haven't been that high scoring. Croatia beat Morocco 2-1 in 2022. In 18, Belgium beat England 2-0. Netherlands beat Brazil 3-0 in 2014. There was a 3-2 game, Germany over Uruguay in 2010. 3-2 Turkey over South Korea in 2002. There was a 4-2 game, France and Belgium, 86. That went to extra time. Oh, there was a 6-3 game. There you go. 1958. France 6, West Germany 3. 9 goals. But the final that year was Brazil 5, Sweden 2. So that was high scoring as well.
Huh. I love going back into the history of really any sport and seeing like, I don't know, just some of the wild numbers that happen. Because even in the early days in the NHL, some of the highest scoring games, it was like 18-3 in like 1921.
Oh,
like
right.
Sometimes I go down those rabbit holes and I watch those documentaries where it's about the 1934 Montreal Canadiens or something like that. Like even with soccer, it still tickles my fancy to see, because like were both West Germany and East Germany a great team? When they were
West
separated?
Germany was better. I don't know if East. I'm trying to look. Like I have the finals and the third place games open here. Like Germany/West Germany has been a very good soccer country. East Germany did not do as well.
And so now that's another question that comes up. If they were competing separately when they became one, do their records fully combine?
Well, I don't know how they did it.
Okay. I'll search in that.
Yeah, I mean, we double check. I don't know off the top of my head how they did the. I mean, Germany lost the final. West Germany lost the final in 66, got third in 70, won in 74, lost the final in 82 and 86, won the World Cup in 90. That's a pretty good run. And then obviously they lost the final in 02. Got third place in 06 and 10 and won the World Cup in 14. They've been very good.
Awesome. Well, Reid Wilkins joining me here, Zach Kubusch on the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza and Edmonton Sports Talk. Our presenting sponsor is Play Alberta. Thanks for tuning in here on our lovely audio streams, either if it's podcasts or on YouTube. We appreciate it lots. About 18 minutes left to go here on the Oil Stream today. We talk some Oilers with the schedule, the timing change, and how that'll affect the NHL schedule moving forward. Just wrapped up some World Cup discussion with the final going Sunday at 1 o'clock between Spain and Argentina from New York, New Jersey Stadium. And we also discussed some Elks. But Reid Wilkins, you yourself are a fascinating mind. You have a plethora of experience in things, well, all sorts of things, in board games, in having fun. No, I'm not sure. You have been a great you have been a great broadcaster for a very long time, and anytime, I don't know, I get the chance to, I'm hosting a show alongside you, and you have some great experience and insight into not only the Oilers, Elks, and everything sports. Like you worked as a member in the Edmonton Drillers club when Ross and Garrett was there. I did, very
briefly, but I did, yes.
You did. You have tons of blockbuster experience.
Tons
of it. Almost too much of it.
Probably, yeah.
Like metric tons worth of experience. But I have a few questions for you for the Reid Wilkins and won'ts. Now, somebody texted in, Reid Wilkins and outs would have probably been a better tag for that.
Oh, okay.
Now, talking some Oilers and generic sports, either dreams or favorite moments. The first question I have for you is, do you have an Oiler or a favorite interview with an Oiler at all during your time covering the team? Like, is there one player that anytime you had the chance to sit down with them, either past or present?
Because I used to interview when he was playing Junior B.
Right, that's an obvious one that sticks out. Yeah,
actually, there is a moment. I've brought this up before, but I'll tell it again. Probably, I'm sure not everybody has heard it. One of the most honest responses in an interview I ever got was from Mark Letestu. I think Stoff and I were doing the interview together. It was what would have it been? Free agency day 2015, right? That was the year he joined. And I believe he signed for 3 years, $5.4 million, so 1.8 per season, I believe. And Stoffer, I asked him just about the deal, getting the contract from the Oilers, and the first thing he said was, well, first of all, that's a life-changing amount of money. And I thought that was refreshing for a player to acknowledge that I'm getting a crap ton of money to play pro hockey. And I'm grateful for that. I mean, often they don't talk about the money, or, you know, they're just told to act like I deserve it. So the next guy up in the union can get even more, and we keep doing that. Like Mark actually said that's a life-changing amount of money. And I thought, you know what, good for you. Like that is, you know.
Well, if I got $1 million today, like that's more money than I made in my working career so far, right?
Guaranteed over 3 years. Yeah. But I don't know if I have a single favorite interview where that's just like blown my mind. I mean, Letestu was usually good. Matt Hendricks was usually good.
Matthias Ekholm
was good. Team. I mean, but a lot of those aren't one-on-ones. The Letestu one was sort of one-on-one, like it was me and Stoff. It was dedicated. Perlini was pretty good. He was always very thoughtful. I had him on Inside Sports, and he was always very thoughtful, just sort of about life and hockey. So I don't know. It might be tough to pick a favorite one, Koob. There's more just snippets maybe that are interesting.
Where you know it's going to be a good interview.
Or that you remember. But, yeah, I mean, Letestu and Hendricks were good. They were usually quite good. On the current team, and again, most of these aren't one-on-one because they're always in a scrum. Ekholm, usually gives pretty good answers. Most of the goalies have been pretty good over the years, I've found. Jari, probably not as much, maybe. But, Skinner was pretty good. Pickard was good. Scrivens was good. Mike Smith was usually pretty outspoken. Talbot was very professional. And he was very nice to deal with.
Hey, Letestu, sticking out. He's always been...
He's now a miserable bastard.
That is true, yes. The second I saw
the Golden Knights.
that he joined the Golden as an associate or assistant
coach, I believe,
as an assistant coach, I thought of one Reid Wilkins, and I think I sent that message along your way. I had to blink a couple because he was the head coach of the Colorado Eagles
for 1 year. Yeah, they made the season. West Final. Yeah. So good for former Oiler Mark Letestu, and that was you got the numbers bang on, Reid. $5.4 million on that 3-year term, 2015-16 to 2017-18, right there. Okay, now so you've interviewed a multitude of people throughout your career. What has been the moment where you've been most nervous entering an interview? I don't know if you get full nerves where you're shaking or I don't know. Well, the last time that happened was when I interviewed Ben Stelter. Yes, this was how many years ago was this? Maybe, I can't even remember. But they had an event for Ben in the Hall of Fame room. And, I was told, they said, he can probably do a minute or two. And, I was actually nervous because I'm like, this kid's a hero. He's been through so much. And then from a technical perspective, it's like, I got one crack at this, right? So that was the last time I felt nervous. Generally, I don't feel nervous. I probably initially in my career, maybe you want things to go well. You gotta be prepared. You realize some people might have more status than other people, but in terms of actually getting nervous, I would say that hasn't happened. I was nervous to talk to Ben Stelter. I didn't want to mess that up. And it was really quick. I think it was 80 seconds or something like that. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to interview Gretzky, Bettman, Messier, Warren Moon, Mike Riley. You just do it. They're people. And you're talking about something specific, so you got to get to the point and carry the interview.
Mm-hmm. And enjoy it as well. So Ben Stelter is one of the most nervous. Well, the last time you've been really nervous.
I would say that was the last time. Before that, I don't even know if I would remember.
No, I guess after a while you forget it. Still, me being very young in my broadcasting career, I still feel fresh out of Nate, even though I graduated in April of 24. I've been here for over 2 years now, either practicum or, working here as a full-time member of Edmonton Sports Talk. It's interesting to see how you can navigate certain conversations. It really, you are just talking to somebody. And I don't know, I'm sure you get this sometimes. It's whoa, you really, you met him? And it was well, yeah, he's
part of the job.
It's a person. Or you met her.
You got a couple people thinking that I'm retiring in the chat.
Do I? Well, Reid Wilkins is in fact not retiring.
I'm not retiring.
Okay?
Though I do have an unchecked lottery ticket in the car that hasn't been checked.
He
for
might
about a week and a
retire
half.
tonight
If I scan that this weekend, then yes, I won't be in on Monday.
See ya, bon voyage.
This will be fitting.
No, I'm just having some fun with Reid Wilkins, who's a veteran broadcaster.
And I did just interview Shaq.
That's true. That is true.
I was not nervous to talk to Shaq.
He has a different...
The nerves, if you want to call them that in that situation, and I wouldn't even call them nerves, it's just a concern about the technical stuff, right? How long am I going to have them? I even think about stuff going into an interview. Are we going to be standing or sitting? Am I going to be facing him or beside him? Is he, whether it's Shaq or whoever, some people it's hard to tell when they stop talking. You don't want to pull the mic away too early, but you don't want to leave it there too long and have 3 or 4 seconds of dead air. So if I'm interviewing a bigger name or I'm in an unfamiliar setting or someone I haven't talked to before, those are the things I think about. So I guess you could describe that as nerves, but it's not nerves to meet the person. It's more okay, I need this to do well. When we got to Shaq, okay, is he going to, we knew we'd probably get some one-on-one time. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be 2 minutes? Is it going to be 4 minutes? Is it going to be 10 minutes? That changes how I do the questions, right? That changes how I structure the questions in my head. And even for him, it turned out he was sitting down. Hey, is he standing up? He's 2 feet taller than me.
Yeah, how would he even fit in the camera? Can I
plus we were doing video
high?
for that.
Right.
So it's those types of things that are more become concerns rather than oh my God, I'm talking to someone. Like if I interviewed a member of Def Leppard, I'd probably be legitimately nervous, or more excited, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Excited and nerves can be the same thing.
But for someone to tell me, hey, Reid, you're going to talk to this athlete or this broadcaster or whatever, I guess I don't get starstruck. Maybe that's the thing. I don't get nerves related to who that person is because it's my life to talk to sports people.
Yeah, if you had Aubrey Graham, or otherwise known as Drizzy Drake, in the studio, you wouldn't be very nervous. You just
I would. If Drake walked in right now, I'm not sure.
He would be nervous if you Reid Wilkins.
I'm not sure if I would know who he was. I think I know what he looks like. Aubrey Graham, is that his name?
Graham? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Aubrey. Yeah, Aubrey Graham. Yep. OVO, 39-year-old from Toronto, and Trev's in Toronto.
I probably took way too long answering that, Koob. I like talking about the job.
Well, I like hearing what you have to say, Reid. Like, I don't know, when I heard you come on board, I was here just a bit before you and Jay joined. Yeah, we almost got to wrap up here. I didn't even ask you all the questions. I can ask them
throw them out quick.
Well. Okay, couple quick hitters. Okay. Do you have a plan to see the Odyssey anytime soon before the end of the month?
50-50.
Okay.
Spider-Man's the priority. I know it's not out yet.
Is there a movie that you saw in theaters that was highly anticipated but just was a complete flop? I'm sure there's probably been a handful.
Oh, recently Disclosure Day was a bit of a letdown, and Mandalorian and Grogu was a bit of a letdown. Recent ones I can think about. Yep.
Yeah, Disclosure Day wasn't that crazy to me. It was marketed very well, but didn't really think about it much.
No, it was
thereafter.
I saw it, whatever.
If there is one sport that you could do play-by-play for today, which one would you do?
Play-by-play? Well, I don't do play-by-play for anything. I don't know, volleyball.
Okay, something fun. I don't know. I'm trying to throw out some quick hitters here as we wrap things up on the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. I guess we do have to get to the numbers game as well for Play Alberta. When you bet with Play Alberta, you get back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Reid Wilkins, you did say on the Hangout that you bought a PS5 about a month ago. Over or under 3.5 hours on the PlayStation this weekend?
Under.
It'll
be under, yeah.
Okay. Whenever I sit down to play games, I always get caught up, and I can play for 3 hours or more. But that's our time.
It could be 0 this weekend.
Could be 0.
I got other stuff to do.
That's unfortunate. You are a busy man. You are a busy man. I always forget that here, but we got some busy programs coming up. ESC Afternoons 1 to 3 with Matt Awanek, Joaquin Gage, and myself as I shift to the producer chair. Julio Caravata at 2:20. We got Zach to the Future, the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay coming up as well. And then Reid Wilkins 3 to 6 live from the Commonwealth Community Recreation Center, leading into the Commonwealth Stadium Green and Gold kickoff show with Matt Awanek and Jay Milne from 6 to 7 o'clock, which is kickoff between the Elks and Lions. More preview on that coming up on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta, coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. We shut things down here on the Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. My name's Zachary Kubusch on behalf of the one and the only Reid Wilkins. Thank you for tuning in on this lovely Friday. Stay tuned for EST Afternoons. We'll be back in just about 5 minutes on our live player and our YouTube streams. Take care and see you then.